The coveted Swiggy. It's the first official weekend of summer, so you need that Swiggy to keep your drink cold. It's our stainless steel water bottle, midnight black. And I'll tell you what, here at our party in Vegas, it's the prize that everybody wants to get their hands on. Sure, we got T-shirts, we got koozies, we got giveaways. And by the way, we don't slouch when it comes to giveaways. We have nice giveaways, all right? Not your standard radio BS giveaway.
Now, before we get to the game, we got people hitting us up about quarterbacks. The list came out. Yahoo Sports decided to put, I'll just say this. We don't even need to go over the top of the list because, yeah, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, the usual suspects are there. This Yahoo list had Geno Smith in the top 10. It had Dak Prescott in the top 10. And it left off guys like, I don't know, Jalen Hurts, who just won a quarterback, Jaden Daniels, maybe Brock Purdy.
Honestly, the Dak Prescott one bothers
Mayfield.
me. I think Dak bothers me more than Geno Smith because you can make the argument that Geno Smith did more unexpectedly, more with less. And Dak Prescott just has been under-delivering for a long time. And that's not coming from a mean place. I say that respectfully.
All right, let's go to Dave in Idaho. Dave, hanging with Covino and Rich, Vegas. What's up, buddy?
Hey, you need to play that game, but I do have a thing about the quarterbacks. And being a Cleveland Browns fan, as I am a huge diehard Cleveland Browns fan, I'll tell you one you forgot. Oh, yeah, he left. It's Baker Mayfield. By the time
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
WINCAM Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Ahmed. We welcome you into Lone Depot Park here in Miami on an 85-degree hot and steamy night. Thank goodness the roof and the walls are slammed and shut. We will play inside the comfort of the beautiful air-conditioned. You are listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. It's Fox Sports 940 Miami, and it's game 74 of 162 as the Marlins continue this 7-game homestand. They welcome in yet another NL East opponent. 2 guys also on the hill tonight making their first in their respected careers. More on that in just a little bit. We're pumped to bring you game 1 of a 3-game NL East set between the 34-39 Atlanta Braves and your 29-44 Miami Marlins. The first, Jansen Junk, 29-year-old right-hander, will get the nod today for the first time this season. He's come out of the bullpen exclusively until tonight. He has been sensational for Clayton McCullough in that pen, throwing to a 2 ERA. Didier Fuentes, who just turned 20 on Tuesday, who started in high A this year, is going to get his first start in the show for Brian Snitker's Atlanta Braves. First pitch slated, as always, on Friday nights at 7:10 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Friday night with Jack McMullen and A.J. Ramos. I'm Steven Strom. Great to have you aboard. We thank you for your participation here tonight. I also fear we are going the distance here on this Friday. We'll first start where both teams are at. We'll get to Clayton and I. We'll preview game 1. We'll get you at the count with Fuentes and Junk. Jack and A.J. will join me for some back and forth or Expo question today at Marlins Radio and Steve's Guarantee to Victory. So we'll begin here with the visitors, and that would be the Atlanta Braves. And after they started 1-8, Atlanta climbed all the way back to 14-15 on April 29th. But then they lost 3 in a row. That whole entire month of April, they went 14-11. They went 13-14 in May. And again, when you start so slow like that at 1-8, it just feels impossible to get back to 500. They're 7-9 in the month of June, but they did just sweep the New York Mets. But Brian Snitker's crew is in unfamiliar territory. They're 10 games back in the National League East, and they're 5.5 out of a wild card spot. However, don't look at the record because these guys offensively are starting to click. Matt Olson, he's hit .378 with 7 extra base hits, 14 RBIs during a 10-game hit streak. Ronald Acuna Jr., he came back on May 23rd, and he's doing Ronald Acuna Jr. things. He's hitting .376, ranking top 3 in the majors in each slash line category, and he has 8 home runs over that span, which is tied for 4th in baseball. The big story, though, for Atlanta, because their workhorses in Chris Sale and Spencer Schwellenbach have gone deep into games, it looks like Snitker wants to push those guys back. Well, we are going to get our first look at Didier Fuentes, who will become the youngest pitcher since Julio Urias to start in a major league game at just 20 years old. For the Marlins, I got to tell you, it was a weird series against Philadelphia where 3 of the 4 games were decided by 3 runs or less. Miami put together their most complete game of the season on Tuesday night in an 8-3 victory to even up the series. But the big thing that hurt Miami was a long ball on Wednesday and Thursday, and that allowed Philadelphia to take 3 out of 4 here in the 305. A couple things I want to mention. Tonight feels pretty important and imperative to get off to the right start because it's going to dictate the weekend. And what do I mean by that? Brian Snitker pushed back his big boys, like I mentioned, in Chris Sale and Spencer Schwellenbach for a start here with Fuentes. If the Marlins can get after Fuentes and get into that Atlanta Braves bullpen, well, all of a sudden, over the weekend, you got guys like Grant Holmes starting and Bryce Elder. Not a ton of depth there as far as the starting pitching is concerned. If Miami can get to Fuentes early on and get into that bullpen, well, it could change the narrative and the feel for the entire weekend between these two NL East teams. The other big storyline, well, what the heck does Jansen Junk, the starter, look like? We've seen him out of the bullpen. He's thrown to a 2 ERA. He's coming off 5 2/3 scoreless in Washington last week. What can it look like, and what does it mean for the future? And I think over the weekend for Clayton McCullough, not only do you get Jansen Junk, who's thrown really well, you get Yuri Perez tomorrow, and you get Sandy Alcantara over the weekend. So he should feel good about his starters headed into tonight. With more on the series, our very own Clayton McCullough will join me in the next segment. We'll talk Jansen Junk. We'll talk Fuentes. We'll go a little bit deeper into the keys over the weekend as we get you ready for a 7:10 first pitch between the Braves and the Marlins right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
The 2-1 pitch. Turner swinging away, lifts one out to shallow right field. Stowers working in, Edwards pushing back. X on his way back. He makes the catch. Xavier Edwards with an over-the-shoulder catch. He reached out beyond his left shoulder, might have overran it a little bit, and he somehow plucked it with his back facing home plate.
I really just put my head down and ran. We were in foot in at the time. I thought I just had to go and get it. I didn't think Wag was going to get there, and I wasn't sure where Stout was at. So just put my head down and ran, and luckily got to the spot.
1-1 pitch. Sanchez launches out to center field and deep. Rojas just looking up. Jesus Sanchez, a pinch hit bomb. There's your insurance. 6-3 Marlins in the bottom of the 7th.
To start this month.
His first start coming off because he came in a pinch hit situation and started the next day.
1-1. That a line shot up the middle and through for a base hit. One insurance run comes in to score, and that'll be all. Everybody up 90 feet. Agustin Ramirez stings a ball up the gut. 7-3 Marlins on an 111-mile-an-hour single up the middle from Agustin. Gets us ready for the payoff pitch. 3-2. That one a line shot into left center field. That will get in, and that will hop its way to the wall. Sanoja around second. He's headed to third base. Relay throw coming into third is late. It hit off Sanoja, and Javi has a go-ahead RBI triple.
But
So runners at second and third now with the Marlins down by 1. And Banks seeing Kyle Stowers here. Philly infield drawn in. That a bouncing ball over to third. Bohm has got it. He can't come home. He throws to first. It's his only play. He gets Stowers, but a couple of soft ground balls over to third end up plating a run.
Call us now or visit WernerHoffman.com. Let's win this together.
Welcome back here to Marlins on Deck as we continue this homestand. The manager of the Miami Marlins joins us as always. He's leaving me hanging currently. Clayton McCullough, Steven Strom, getting you ready here for game 1 of a 3-game set. Great to see you. What were you doing at 20 years old?
20 years old, Steven. I was a college sophomore at East Carolina. Probably finishing my sophomore year of college. And really the only thing I was thinking about at that point was playing baseball and doing well enough in the classroom to not have to go to summer school.
Well, at 20 years old, Didier Fuentes is going to make his first career start. How do you prepare for a guy that went from high A, double A, and triple A in such a short time?
I think, one, you'd have to expect that the stuff is going to be of high quality, right? With that type of age, the confidence they must have in his ability to come get major league hitters out at that age with very limited upper level, pitching experience. They feel good about his ability to go out there and get people out. So I think there's, certainly going to be a bit of the unknown. You never know how someone's going to do in their major league debut. Having never seen him before and how this stuff reacts, how it feels, might be a little bit of a feeling out process, for our guys. At least let him see what he's like going out there. Is he going to be able to pound the strike zone? Is he showing the ability to throw strikes? Is he showing the ability to throw strikes with multiple pitches? And so I think we'll, take that approach going into tonight's game, being ready to hit, and also understanding this may be one of those times you're letting somewhat how it feels like he is commanding the ball and commanding in the moment dictate a little bit how we approach all of our at-bats.
Fuentes will go opposite Jansen Junk. What a pleasure it has been to watch him pitch. I won't even say out of the bullpen. He gets the first start of his Marlins career tonight. What characteristics does he have that align with this organization's values that's given him this chance?
Yeah, I think a very deep arsenal. The ability to throw multiple breaking balls in a variety of counts. I think he can open up and get into a count with spin. He's got the ability to get back into counts with spin. And, the fastball characteristics are very good. So he's got enough heater to for that to play. And what JJ has shown this year is, and again, like a real commitment to pounding the strike zone. I think we've seen how efficient he's been in his outings with us so far. And he's been able to get punch outs, and it's been a lot of byproduct of getting ahead. And then he's got quality stuff that he can expand on once he gets the count leverage in his favor.
So the Marlins signed this guy to a minor league deal in the offseason. He starts in the minor leagues. What do you accredit or tribute with the coaching staff that he's been able to hone in on these last couple of months to, again, be at this level and pitch to a 2 ERA?
I think even watching JJ in spring training, I know some of our group had history with him in the past, and so they knew the feel for the ball. They knew his feel for the ability to spin the ball in particular, and felt like it would have been pretty doable and workable to be able to maybe alter some grips, to enhance some of the breaking balls. And I think that has been done, and he's been fully balled in from day one with that. And I think he realized it was going to be a real opportunity here, for him in some capacity. And he threw really well in spring training, made it hard on us to, even at the outset, to send him to the minor leagues. But I think all he's done, he continued to pitch well. He continued to buy into what we believe was going to lead to success here. And since he's gotten his opportunity, he's really done nothing but get people out and give us high quality innings.
Marlins manager Clayton McCullough with us now. Final one for you. This is a different Braves team than we saw what feels like 6 months ago. It was only, I think, in April. Ronald Acuna Jr. is back. For this weekend, Clayton, I want you to kind of finish this sentence with me. We will have success from a win and loss perspective if we end up doing this or preventing them from doing this.
Limiting the free passes and playing quality defense. I think it's, again, we've seen this a few times. Teams that have very good offenses and have, the depth of the lineup and the ability to slug, the ability to hit, that giving them free passes and you put extra people on there, you turn the lineup over more. you make it very difficult on yourself. And also it goes along with that is the defense, like being able to take the outs that we have the chance to to complete, not giving them extra opportunities. I think when you I think they just can sniff and tell when a door's been left open a little bit or cracked open for them. The chance to be able to pounce on that. So it's like handling the chances we should and limiting the free passes, knowing that there's going to be some hits given up and there's a chance there's going to be some slug at some points.
We always appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, good luck. We will get you ahead of the count coming up next. Fuentes and Jansen Junk, 7:10 first pitch, game 1 of a 3-game set between the Marlins and the Braves on the Marlins Radio Network.
I think they're sick. I like the colors, like I just said. The teals, I think that's Miami baseball. That's Marlins baseball. The pink's a nice little touch. That logo, this logo, I think that might be the best one that we've had in maybe ever, in my opinion. So I wish we would use it more. And I wish we'd bring back the teal full time, but beggars can't be choosers. But it's overall really cool.
I love it. Yeah, I think the colors are cool. The design, the meaningful design behind the music scene in Miami is a pretty cool touch. I feel like they're not too different from our normal uniforms, but they have just enough flair to draw a crowd, hopefully, and feel cool wearing them.
I like them. I'm a big fan of highlighter colors. I love the bright blue and the bright pink. That's what I got for you.
You guys are the first.
Again, the runners go, and that one is a line shot past the dive of Abrams into left center field, a base hit. You got Stowers scoring from second. Hernandez breaks it down at third base, and it's an RBI single for Nick Fortes. Insurance for the Marlins. Their lead up to 5. It's 7-2 here in the top of the 5th. 2-2. James Wood laces one out to left field and deep. Hernandez is back. Hernandez reaching up. Heriberto Hernandez makes the catch. On the run, Hernandez jumps up and spears that ball right in front of the Marlins bullpen in left center field. Great play by Hernandez, and there's one away in the bottom of the 5th. See.
The 1-1. Liner in the air to center field. It'll get down for a hit. Sanchez scores from third base, and Liam Hicks continues his hot hitting. He walked in the first. He's got an RBI single here in the third to tie the score at 1.
Obviously through. Brad Lord may have a tougher job.
1-0 line drive pretty deep to right field. Call going back, looking up, and that ball is gone. Jesus Sanchez crushes a long home run just to the left.
You're Nardi, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Something I live by, perspective. Boy, am I happy we are. It's not even July yet, and I can't go outside without sweating bullets, so I am so thankful I'm inside Lone Depot Park, not only in the comfort air condition, but also giving you some Marlins baseball here on this Friday night. It's game 1 of a 3-game set. The Marlins continue on with their NL East opponents. It's the Braves. It's the Marlins. Didier Fuentes will go opposite Jansen Junk here at 7:10. Take the Marlins wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app. Make Fox Sports 940 the top preset to listen to every Marlins game. Hi, I'm Steven. That's AJ. That's also Jack McMullen. Those two have your call again at 7:10. Okay, so this has been really the show about the pitchers, and we'll get you ahead of the count, but I also want to leave some meat on the bone for Jack McMullen to break down Fuentes as well. So Didier Fuentes, 20-year-old right-hander from Colombia, will make his first career start. This is a guy that was an international free agent. The Braves signed him to $75,000. He's a top 10 prospect. This cat started in high A, okay? He made 3 starts. They said, all right, good enough. He went to double A. 5 starts? Sure. 1 start in triple A? You were awesome. 4 2/3 of 1 run. I think you're ready for the show. He's become the youngest pitcher, or will become the youngest pitcher to start an MLB game since Julio Urias did it. Didier Fuentes throws a fastball 70% of the time. They're in love with it. So we'll see how he fares tonight. Again, I want to leave more of the breaking down for someone in our prospect guru in Jack McMullen. He'll break it down a little bit further, but that's what we got here, folks. The decision, because Chris Sale and Spencer Schwellenbach have gotten deep into the games. They want to give their starters maybe a day of rest. Well, here we are. Fuentes will go opposite Jansen Junk, and he's just been an awesome story to follow. 29-year-old right-hander from Federal Way, Washington. He's made it virtually impossible not to give him a look in the starting rotation. So for Junk, it's been 22 2/3 innings pitch of relief. A 2.78 ERA, 1-0. He earned his first win last week in D.C. 20 punch-outs to 2 walks. He's filling the spot that Max Meyer previously had. I want to give you the story, too, with Junk. So this is a guy that signed with the Marlins on a minor league deal, another great find by Peter Bendix, with Miami on February 10th. His contract was selected on May 24th. Remember, we saw him a couple times in spring. He impressed. I actually, and Jack will attest to it, I said I like Junk stuff. Okay. He ended up starting in AAA and then again was selected on May 24th. He has pitched to a 2.78 ERA across 45 in a third innings pitch in AAA, and that's why he was selected. He'll make his first start in a Marlins uniform against Atlanta tonight, but it's not the first time he started in his career. This is going to be his 8th start. He played with a couple of different teams. Again, his last start, he picked up the win in D.C. on Saturday, 5-2 scoreless, 4 Ks to no walks. So I think there's a lot of uncertainty on both ends. What's it going to look like for Jansen Junk in a starter capacity, and what's it going to look like in general for Didier Fuentes in his first career start at 20 years old? We will break it down more. Jack McMullen and AJ Ramos, who are so happy is with us here in Miami. They will join me next as we get you ready for a 7-10 first pitch. It's game 1 of a 3-game set. Marlins continuing this homestand, but also looking to snap a little 2-game skid on the Marlins Radio Network.
2-1 pitch. Turner swinging away, lifts one out to shallow right field. Stowers working in, Edwards pushing back. X on his way back. He makes the catch. Xavier Edwards with an over-the-shoulder catch. He reached out beyond his left shoulder, might have overran it a little bit, and he somehow plucked it with his back facing home plate.
I really just put my head down and ran. You know, we were in foot in at the time. I thought I just had to go and get it. I didn't think Wag was going to get there, and I wasn't sure where Stout was at. So just put my head down and ran, and luckily got to the spot.
1-1 pitch. Sanchez launches out to center field and deep. Rojas just looking up. Jesus Sanchez, a pinch hit bomb. There's your insurance. 6-3 Marlins in the bottom of the 7th.
To start this month.
His first start coming off because he came in a pinch hit situation and started the next day.
1-1. That a line shot up the middle and through for a base hit. One insurance run comes in to score, and that'll be all. Everybody up 90 feet. Agustin Ramirez stings a ball up the gut. 7-3 Marlins on an 111-mile-an-hour single up the middle from Agustin. Gets us ready for the payoff pitch. 3-2. That one a line shot into left center field. That will get in, and that will hop its way to the wall. Sanoja around second. He's headed to third base. Relay throw coming into third is late. It hit off Sanoja, and Javi has a go-ahead RBI triple.
Spot.
So runners at second and third now with the Marlins down by 1, and Banks seeing Kyle Stowers here. Philly infield drawn in. That a bouncing ball over to third. Bohm has got it. He can't come home. He throws to first. It's his only.
Ahorros comparados a Verizon 5G Internet más una línea limited Welcome y AT&T Internet 300 más una línea limited Started SL. Requiere Xfinity Internet. Velocidades reales varían. Velocidades se reducen después del uso de 30 GB por línea. Los límites de datos y los ahorros reales varían.
All right, well, the boys are ready to rock here from Lone Depot Park. Alejandro Jr., Jack McMullen, Steven Strom, a.k.a. AJ Ramos, who is back in the fold. It's great to see you, AJ. Okay, I was thinking of cooking this take up because anytime you see a guy that has flown through the minor league rankings like Fuentes has, high A, double A, triple A. We went over in the head of the count. It feels very like Bill Belichick-y with the Patriots, where you look at someone they drafted and end up like plugging and playing, and you're like, wait, how is this guy doing it? But then it was like, oh, wait, no, it's Patriots. Like they know what they're doing. This kind of feels that way with the Atlanta Braves, where it's like 29 other teams, if they do this, you're calling them crazy. But with this team, you're like, what do they know? Fair?
No, I'm still calling them crazy.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves, I don't feel like they normally do this type of thing, so they may see something in it. But when we're looking through his metrics and just like what he throws, he doesn't offer too much. It doesn't seem like he's very fastball heavy. So I'm wondering to see how that plays, because I've heard a lot of times where guys throw a lot of fastballs in the minor leagues and they're able to get a lot of outs. As soon as they get to the big leagues, they find out these big leaguers can hit a fastball no matter how fast it is.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens today.
Jack, was this guy on your radar like as a prospect guru?
I'm not a guru. I enjoy the prospect.
You're a guru. Connoisseur.
Yes, he was, because it's an outlier fastball. The scouting grades are on the 20 to 80 scale, right? This is not an 80 fastball, but the way that he throws it, the release height, the carry that it gets, it projects as like one of those 70 grade fastballs, one of the better fastballs in Major League Baseball. Now, there are relievers that have good fastballs, and there are relievers with 4.5 ERAs that have really good fastballs.
Sure.
This guy's fastball is not an 101 mile an hour BB. What it is, it's closer to Brian Wu in Seattle, Joe Ryan in Minnesota. It's kind of an upshoot fastball where it comes from a very low place and it plays well at the top of the zone because it gives off the idea that it's rising. It's called a quote-unquote invisible fastball, and he throws it about 96 miles an hour.
And you're going to get what kind of swings under that?
Under.
Okay.
Always under. With a good carry fastball, you're always going to get swings under. Sinker, you're going to get swings over the top. But the thing about him, and the reason that I call you crazy for saying this is nearly identical, and I'm not going to spoil all of it, to what they did 2 years ago with A.J. Smith-Shawver. And it took A.J. Smith-Shawver 2 years to settle in at the Major League level.
Yeah.
It was not awesome right away.
Fair point.
I feel like you would learn something from that, but they trust a kid 3 days after his 20th birthday to make a spot start.
What were both of you doing at 20 years old?
I was trying to find someone to buy me beer, most likely.
Yeah.
Same, actually. Probably the same.
Okay, let's get to the next subject here, because the storylines, there's no question, and I said it before, like, it is about the two pitchers. What does Fuentes look like, and what does Jansen Junk look like as a starter, AJ? Let me start there, man. Like, what are some of the differences in mentality and preparation from bullpen to starter?
Well, I mean, as a starter, you have a little more time to prepare, right? Like, you have the game plan you get to go over, you have the meetings and stuff like that. We all have a pitching meeting, even when you're in the bullpen, but it's not as detailed as the starter meeting. So he'll have a better game plan on how to attack these guys. But the problem with that as well is that the other team has an opportunity to prepare against you specifically and try to see what you do.
Sure.
And for me, I think one of his most important pitches that he has to establish is his fastball up. He has that good riding fastball. It's around 17 to 18 inches of vertical induced break. So it's a riding fastball. And if you look at a lot of these guys in the lineup right now, they are not fastball high hitters.
Okay.
A lot of these guys do damage low in the zone. The issue with it is if Junk doesn't get his fastball up in the zone, these guys crush balls that are thigh high. So that can be an issue, as well as his slider. His slider tends to back up. His sweeper slider tends to back up, so the guys crush that. But at the same time, if you can get that off the plate, establish that fastball up, get the slider off the plate, you're going to get some swings and misses.
Can I ask a follow-up real quick?
Yeah.
If he does execute his fastball at the top of the strike zone, who are one or two guys that you're still worried about in this Braves line?
Acuna.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that has a really good he can hit the balls up as well. And I want to say that's one of the biggest ones.
What about Ozuna? I don't want to see this guy.
Ozuna's a low ball hitter.
Okay.
Ozuna
so
crushes
that's who
balls
we want
that are,
up in the zone.
Yeah. Most of these guys, Albies and Verdugo, if you throw away, up and away, a lot of times he can slap it the other way. He's more of a slappy hitter. And for Acuna, you don't want to repeat your patterns. So if you get him out one way, you got to switch it up because he's on it. And also with him, you do not want to. You want to watch out if you throw a first pitch fastballs.
I was just thinking that.
He has 15 homers in his career. 6 of them are this year, and they're first pitch fastballs. So if you're going to throw it, that doesn't mean you can't throw it. If you throw it, you got to make sure to execute it maybe on top of the zone, out of the zone. But for me, he's going to have to establish that fastball. That's going to allow him to get to his other pitches and maybe get some whiffs on him.
So fastball command at a premium for Jansen Junk. That's AJ Ramos, Jack McMullen, Steven Strom. And I'm looking at the lineup that we saw the last time we saw the Braves, which was April 5th. Looks a little bit different. The order obviously is different with Michael Harris at the top at that time on April 5th. Now you add Ronald Acuna Jr., Alex Verdugo, who has actually played a pretty big role in this Atlanta Braves offense. We heard Clayton McCullough talk about the keys to the weekend, guys. I would love for you to expand. He talked about walks, and he talked about not giving these guys extra outs. Clean defense is going to be an imperative part of this weekend. What do you guys see as a chance for either vulnerability with the Braves or what they need to do really well today and throughout the weekend?
Maybe get into their bullpen. I feel like, their starting pitchers have been doing well. I think get into their bullpen. It's been shaky at times. I think it's doing better as of late. But the name of the game is for sure to make sure you limit the mistakes. When you're playing a team that is hot and that has a talent like this, you got to make sure you make all the plays that you can make and try not to do too much. So it's just limiting those mistakes and going out there and executing your game plan.
What you got, Jay?
Honestly, be thankful you're avoiding the big three for them. And it's 3 S's, Sale, Strider, Schwellenbach.
Yeah.
You're not seeing any of those three. Instead, you get Holmes, you get Elder the next 2 days, and you got a guy making his major league debut. I kind of love that we're not seeing those 3 guys.
It's a good point there. Take the Marlins wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app. Make Fox Sports 940 the top preset to listen to every Marlins game, including these two. They have your call in about 12 minutes. We'll break your X-Poll question, Steve's guarantee, and then we'll play some baseball right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
Do again, the runners go, and that one is a line shot past the dive of Abrams into left center field, a base hit. You got Stauer scoring from second. Hernandez breaks it down at third base, and it's an RBI single for Nick Fortes. Insurance for the Marlins. Their lead up to 5. It's 7-2 here in the top of the 5th. 2-2. James Wood laces one out to left field and deep. Hernandez is back. Hernandez reaching up. Heriberto Hernandez makes the catch. On the run, Hernandez jumps up and spears that ball right in front of the Marlins bullpen in left center field. Great play by Hernandez, and there's one away in the bottom of the 5th. See.
The 1-1. Liner in the air to center field. It'll get down for a hit. Sanchez scores from third base, and Liam Hicks continues his hot hitting. He walked in the first. He's got an RBI single here in the third to tie the score at 1.
Obviously through. Brad Lord may have a tougher job.
1-0 line drive pretty deep to right field. Call going back, looking up, and that ball is gone. Jesus Sanchez crushes a long home run just to the left of the Nationals bullpen. It's his 6th homer of the year, and Miami moves to 3-1 in the 7th over the Nationals.
With their traditional home whites, they go with this light blue City Connect top. A 1 pitch. That one popped up right side of the infield, drifting into shallow right. Second baseman Garcia is calling for it, and Luis Garcia dropped the ball. Stowers comes in to score. Myers went to third base. Garcia nonchalantly was positioned to catch the final out of the inning, but he flat out dropped the baseball. And the Marlins add a run to their advantage. It's 4-1 here in the top of the 8th inning.
Marlins gangs, announcers, and more Marlins gangs. Did I get you in the upper Marlins?
Stream now. Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
WINCA in Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
10 minutes away from first pitch right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Fox Sports 940 Miami. Ahmed back in the studio holding it down. I'm Steven Strom, host of the program here. This is Marlins on Deck. AJ Ramos and Jack McMullen have your call in about 10 minutes. Remember, don't miss a moment of Marlins action. Download the iHeartRadio app. Make Fox Sports 940 the top preset, and then listen to every Marlins game. Let's get to our at Marlins Radio X-Poll question. Didier Fuentes will become the Braves' youngest starter in more than half a century. Who was it that the Braves sent out back in 1970? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. It is time for Steve's Guarantees.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
Well, you see a lot of teams, especially, around baseball, that have tried to take advantage of the youth of the Miami Marlins. Well, they can give Fuentes a little taste of their own medicine. I think this is an opportunity to really see out Fuentes. I like the Marlins to draw 4 walks here. They're going to have to make this 20-year-old who's making his debut throw strikes and keep him in the zone. AJ Ramos hit on in the last segment. If the Marlins can get into the bullpen, it really sets the tone for the weekend. They don't have their big boys going, like Jack said, and Chris Sale, Spencer Strider, and Spencer Schwellenbach. You're going to see guys like Grant Holmes. And with all due respect, they are not Chris Sale. You're going to see Bryce Elder. With all due respect, it's not Spencer Strider. So tonight is a good opportunity to see some pitches and draw some walks. I like that to be the key to victory here tonight. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. AJ Ramos, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball. It's next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Shop the Sherwin